Welcome to Gentle Restorative. My name is Sandra, and for this class, I want to start with one block and your bolster. Get creative if you don't have yoga props. I want to put my block out behind me at its medium height. I'm going to prop up the bolster. Perfect. And then go ahead and scooch back until your sacrum can feel the edge of that bolster, and then very peacefully, consciously, and gently lay back. Oh yeah, that feels perfect. We're going to keep the knees bent here for a moment. So if you want to let the knees fall in together so you don't have to work to hold them in place, that's totally fine. And then close your eyes. And as you take your focus to your breath, will you just allow the body to relax and let go? Trust that the bolster is there to support you. It's kind of in the same way that we trust that that next breath is there without us needing to think about it or consciously take it in. And as you allow the mind to focus on the breath, allow the ears to focus on perhaps hearing the sound of your breath. And where do you feel the breath? And then go ahead and just lay the hands across the heart. Pausing here to set your intention for your practice. And when you're done, I want you to take your fingertips to your forehead, and I want you just to massage out the muscles in the forehead. You can take the thumbs to the temples if you like. Still following the breath. And then let the fingers move up onto the top of the head where the crown chakra is. Massage out the scalp a little bit. We are going to be talking about the crown chakra today. So just showing it some love, right? And then release the arms. So the crown chakra associates with the color white or purple, right? So we're going to work with both of those colors today, but I want to start with white. So with your eyes closed, envisioning this energetic globe of white light just above your head, right above that crown chakra, I want you to slowly allow this idea of perhaps the crown chakra opening and this white light entering through the top of your head. And let's take this slowly. I want to enjoy it. So bringing that white vibrational energy slowly into the head so you can feel the backspace of the forehead that we just massaged out. This is a healing light. Recognize it as such. Bring that white light down behind your closed eyes. And so you can get creative here. You could perhaps allow that light to feel warm, and maybe everywhere it touches inside, you feel those muscles relaxing, melting, and just softening. You could imagine that you actually feel the vibration. And so in that sense, allowing each chakra, energy center, to feel balanced when we get that light to that area. Gosh, it's totally up to you. I mean, this is your journey. Use your imagination. Just take, what I'm giving you as the foundation, and let the light be what you need it to be. So bringing that white light down into the space behind the cheeks, the ears, into the jaw, the throat and the back of the neck. Bring that healing white energy into the shoulders, down the arms, into the hands. Feel the white light move behind your collarbone and into the space between the shoulder blades. Let that light slide down into the heart chakra, center of the chest. Let it continue down solar plexus, which is the low rib area. Let that white light continue into the low back and the space between the hips. That's your sacral chakra. And then extending down to the base of the spine, through the legs, all the way down into the feet. And that's the root chakra. So can you envision your entire body filled with this healing white light? Perhaps you add seeing kind of a glow around your body. Maybe that light is not just inside of you. Maybe you've decided to surround your body with that white light. And so if we're talking about the crown chakra, why are we inviting its white light all the way through the body, connecting all the chakras? I'm going to answer that in a moment, but I want to get you into your first kind of restorative pose. It's where we're going to linger. So go ahead and separate the knees if they were holding each other up. I'm going to take the right leg, and I'm going to get the foot behind my left foot so I can lay the outer edge of my right leg down on the mat. So my knee is bent, and you can kind of see my foot's coming through to the left side, right? So can we make this option A? Just hanging out right here. This foot can be further back towards the left foot if that's easier for you. You could always take a block and put it underneath the right knee to support it if the leg needs that, right? So let's call this, like I said, option A. Option B, let's bring this right foot closer up toward the left glute hip area, and perhaps the left hand can just hang on to that foot. And then option C, take the left foot and bring it across to the outside of the right thigh. So you have a lot of options here. You could actually create a B plus option where you took that left foot across, but you don't like the right foot being up so high. Okay, so you can back that leg off. Totally up to you. Find what makes you happy. Close your eyes here. Perfect. Okay, so while you're hanging out there, the reason we want to connect all the chakras is because the crown chakra actually does connect all the chakras together. In fact, the crown chakra at the top of the head has a strong relationship with the first chakra, the root, at the base of the spine or the perineum. The root chakra is your foundation. So we want to have a strong root foundation. We want to feel grounded generally before we open up the crown chakra, right? The crown chakra, its element is silence, it's ether, it's thought. And so before we, let that energy take off with us, we want to be very rooted and grounded. So in that sense, I want you to feel all of the parts of your body that are touching the ground or your bolster or any other props that you have. I want you to feel as though you were sinking into the earth element, and especially the hips and the base of the spine. And let the words safe, secure, stable kind of meander through your mind. So for those of you who took the left foot across, we're just going to shift the legs in kind of one easy movement. If you left the left foot where it was, you're just going to have to lift that leg up on top of the right thigh. So all I'm going to do is I'm planting my hands, palms down. They're going to give me a little bit of support so I can pull the low back down. I want to support the low back. I don't want to lift from the low back. And then I'm just going to move my legs so that the right foot is now on the mat. Left ankle's up on top of the right thigh. This is our supine pigeon position, right? Just hold it there for a moment because obviously we are propped up on the bolster. I don't want to lift the legs. That might be a little awkward. But what I do want you to do is see if you can scooch that right foot in a little bit closer. You have some options here. You could gently take that left hand to the inner left thigh and push that knee open a little bit. I immediately felt that in my left hip, kind of low back area. So we're just looking for some stretch here, and that's going to be different for all of us. Keep that left foot flexed. So that's one option. Another option is if you want to come up onto your forearms and drop the chin, you could do that. So to me, this feels good on my back. I don't really feel it anywhere else. So I might choose to stay here because my back is happy. But if you're looking for more, you could come up into the hands and keep hitting that doorstop and then push really close into the legs to feel that pigeon stretch. So I leave this totally up to you. You decide where you're happy and just close your eyes. So the crown chakra, when it's imbalanced, it could affect headaches, migraines more than others, I would say. Any skin issues, neurological issues going on. It's your connection to, I want to say, a higher power, whatever that means to you. It's kind of your connection to the universe. And in that sense, the crown chakra is considered to be receiving and giving at the same time. And so while we receive energy through that chakra, we're also sending it outward. And that chakra directly connects all 7 chakras going down the spine, like I already mentioned. We know that when one chakra is imbalanced, typically the ones surrounding it are as well, because the energy is blocked somehow or it's not moving through as easily. But that crown chakra, we need all the chakras unblocked, right? For the energy to move all the way up and for that space to be balanced and peaceful. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lower back down from here. Perfect. Wherever you're at, just come back to laying back on the bolster. I've got the left ankle peacefully resting on top of the right thigh. Now, what you're going to do from here, and I'm going to hit the wall, and I'm not going to probably move all my stuff, but I'll just move my hips over a little bit. What you're going to do from here is drop the legs to the right. So get the sole of the left foot on the ground. Relax that right leg. Yeah, so we've got the little twist going on. It shouldn't be too much for you. If you want to, you could turn your head to look over that left shoulder. And close your eyes here. In a moment when we sit up, I will show you why we're talking about the crown chakra, how I kind of got to it. It actually wasn't the basis of the theme, something else is, but I can't reach it right now. You might see Ganesh holding it. We'll get to it. We have plenty of time. We're going to bring the head back to center. Go ahead and slowly pull the legs back up to our supine pigeon position here. And then I'm going to take the left foot and free it. Wiggle the feet to the width of the mat. Yep. Okay, so let the knees drop to the left. From here, I'm going to get my hands to the ground underneath me. I want to push my way up and just scooch my left hip back toward the bolster. Legs are still staying where they were, where I dropped them. I'm lengthening as I sit up. I am turning kind of toward my bolster. I'm going to lay the left side ribs down on it, but I want to get my left arm to tuck underneath. Ah, perfect. Of course, change up the legs if they're not in a good place for you. Close your eyes. If you cannot completely relax the legs down, it's just maybe too much of a twist, too much on the top hip, use your blocks, right? Get them underneath the right leg to hold it up or wherever you need them. And just hanging out right here. So I want you to start to envision adding a purple energy. You can picture it again above the crown chakra if you want to, or maybe it's in front of your face. You're inhaling that purple light in and allowing that to move through the body. It's up to you, and I leave it up to you what kind of purple it is. You decide if it's a light purple or if it's like an amethyst color, if it's a deep purple. Yeah, what's calling to you? That's what you should figure out. Just invite the purple light in the same way we did with the white. Take your time. Send it everywhere. Do you prefer the white light or the purple light? Or do you like them both the same? Is one calling to you more this morning versus the other? You know, remember that the white light associates with clear quartz. Purple light would be amethyst. Both are master healing stones, so they have equal value. They both work on all of the chakras. So there's not a right or wrong answer to that question, more of a curiosity on my part for you to pay attention to what you're sensing, what you're liking, what you're needing. If you want to, you can plant the hands, lengthen the spine as you push up, and turn the head all the way to the other side. That might be kind of intense, so pay attention as you set the head down if this is going to be okay for you. If it's not, guess what? Turn the head back onto the left ear, right? Take a deep inhale. Cleansing exhale. Slowly push your way back up. Turn back to the front of your mat. Stay right there. We're going to do the other side, but I need to grab what Ganesh has so I can weave our theme while we're hanging out. So I grabbed this sprig, if you will, of dried lavender. I was thinking about lavender yesterday and the power of its aroma, how useful it is, how it's been used for centuries for different purposes. And I wanted to kind of talk about it, but that kind of led my mind into talking about the crown chakra because they're associated. So we're going to talk about lavender, but first let's get ourselves onto that other side. So gently lay back onto your bolster, replant the feet. This time it is the left foot that's moving behind the right. I'm going to slowly drop the outer left leg down to the earth. And then remember, option A is to put the left foot right behind the right one. Option B is to pull that foot closer toward the hip and hang on to it with the right hand. Option C is to take the right foot and cross it over to the outside of that left leg. Close your eyes wherever you decided to end up. So lavender has so many uses. I couldn't possibly recite them to you in an hour, I don't think. Certainly not off the top of my head, but you can, of course, Google them if you're interested. What it's commonly known for is helping with insomnia, helping with headaches and relaxation. It symbolizes calmness and purity. It also, interestingly enough, symbolizes caution, and that is because it traditionally was given to men going off to war as a sense of caution and safety. Everything else associated with lavender is just a peaceful word. It's tranquility, and it's just meditational, helping open up that sixth sense kind of third eye chakra and crown chakra space. Take a couple more breaths here. So if you recall, how we transitioned on the other side was we let go. If we have hold of that left foot, let go of it. And then pull the stomach and low back down so that the legs are moving themselves into our supine pigeon position. Perfect. Flex the right foot if you want to. Right hand to the inner right thigh. Gently push that leg away, or find where you want to be in this pose. Remember, we talked about forearms. You could come up into the hands. You could do none of that and just hang out. So choose what's best for you and close your eyes. So one of the words associated with lavender, and this will make sense because we talked about calmness and tranquility. The word is silence. And how do I say this? Well, one of the sounds that goes with the crown chakra, if you can call it a sound, is actually silence. And so they're very well linked. And obviously the purple of the lavender connects with the crown chakra anyway. So when trying to balance the crown chakra, we can sit in silence, or we can chant this is a lot of crown chakra seed sound, which is Om. And so either will help balance that space. Take a few more breaths here. And then If you came up into a seated position like I did, go ahead and slowly lay back. From here, we're just dropping the legs to the left to get the sole of that left foot down on the floor. If you have a strong imagination, it might be kind of fun for you to see if you can imagine invoking the smell of lavender around you. If you end up rewatching this class on YouTube, you might think about grabbing some lavender essential oil prior to starting. So as we bring the legs back up to center, you can uncross the legs if you want to first. We're just planting the feet, opening them up to the width of the mat. Let both knees drop to the right. So I'm going to scooch over again. Once we have the knees to the right, go ahead and push your way up, lengthen, turn towards your bolster, and lay the right side ribs down. Remember, we're going to hook the bottom arm underneath the bolster. Find your happy place there. And with your eyes closed, I want you to start to find this meditational energy of grace and peace that the lavender flower asks us to invoke. It has a very feminine energy to it. And some say that the lavender plant comes from the Latin word lavare, which is to wash. While others say, no, it comes from a different Latin word, which means bluish. They both seem pretty accurate to me, because when you think of washing as just a mode of cleansing your energy, it makes perfect sense, especially when the crown chakra is able to help do that for all of the chakras. So you can stay where you are. Remember, I gave you the option to plant the hands, push the upper body up a little bit, and turn the head in the opposite direction. You can see if that works for you. If you don't like it, stay where we were. So if you like to have lavender around, or you do have like lavender sachets around, or you use lavender oil, I think one of the things that makes it so comforting is when we breathe in the smell of the lavender, we're in the present moment, right? We have to be. I mean, if I am going to consciously pick up this bouquet of dried lavender and take a big inhale, I have to be present, right? And so, interestingly enough, the crown chakra, you could say the mantra for the crown chakra is to spiritually keep us in the present. Again, they're both very well connected, aren't they? All right, take a deep inhale. Cleansing exhale. If you did turn your head, go ahead and slowly lift to turn it back, and then go ahead and push your way all the way back up, and then forward. We'll come into easy pose if you like, or Siddhasana, whatever makes you happy. And so to help us work on opening or balancing the crown chakra, I thought we would work on a mudra that's especially for the crown chakra. So, but first, remember we talked about, we want the root chakra. Oh my gosh, how many times am I going to say chakra today? We want the root chakra to be completely grounded. I need you to feel like that is a safe foundation for you. So first, I just want you to lay the backs of the hands on the knees, sit up nice and tall, and close your eyes. If this is not comfortable for you, sit up on the edge of something, your bolster, a block, your blanket. And then take your focus down into where you feel connected to the earth. So the back of the legs, the sit bones, the base of the spine. And you might even set a little intention in your head, something like, it is my intention to feel rooted to the earth. It is my intention to connect to the earth energy. It is my intention to feel very secure in my foundation. And then keeping the focus in the root chakra, inhale from the root, inhale all the way up the spine, going through each chakra, up to the crown. Loud exhale. Inhale, take both arms up. Interlace the fingers and release the hands to the heart chakra or a little bit below. So from here, all I'm going to do is straighten out the two pinky fingers, right? So everything else is still interlaced, tucked in, just the two pinkies are extending up. This is Mahamayuri mudra, Mahamayuri. And this is the mudra, or hand pose, right? That activates the crown chakra. So close your eyes. Imagine you feel a connection between what your hands are doing and the top of the head. If you want to, you could kind of imagine that the pinky fingers are like a little antenna and you're connecting that crown chakra energy, and maybe it's the white light or the purple light, directly to the hands, which are right in front of the heart. So again, everything interconnected, interlaced, right? And then I want you to add in the seed sound. So we're going to add an Om. Up to you. You can either chant it out loud, or if there's other people near you and you feel uncomfortable or you don't want to disturb them, in your head is fine, right? If you're doing it in your head, big inhale. As you exhale, just saying Om all the way to the bottom of that exhale. So it's up to you. I set you free. Go for it. One more deep breath in. One more Om. Let it all go. Slowly start to turn the hands over. Release the fingers, backs of the hands resting on the knees. So from this seated position, I want you to take the hands behind you into Yoga Mudra. So I'll do it out in front just in case you don't know what Yoga Mudra looks like. Hands together, interlace the fingers, and then as you slide the shoulder blades down, the arms will come in together, right? Pulling the shoulder blades in. So this is what it looks like, but it's behind you. So go ahead and find your Yoga Mudra. Really reach the knuckles down to the earth. I'm going to give you some options here. So option A, you can stay right here. Option B, you could come forward just a little bit. You can either leave the hands reaching for the ground as you do that, or you could lift them up a little bit, right? Or option C is to come all the way down into a fold and take the arms up as though they were in rabbit. So my intention with this pose is to warm up the arms. We are going to do rabbit because that is a great crown chakra pose. Any of the poses where the top of the head is on the ground is a great pose to help balance out the crown chakra. So some of the other ones that you might work on that I would not be bringing into a general restorative class, especially when I can't see you, but you can work on safely if you want to at home. Tripod, headstand preferably against a wall if you've not done it before. So rabbit does take the arms up like this. I really wanted to warm up the shoulders and start prepping the pose. You could sway a little bit if you'd like. And then coming back to center, draw the stomach in, let the arms pull you back up. If you took that fold all the way down, release the arms, shake them out. Perfect. All right, we're gonna need to move those props off of the mat for a moment. Move my lavender so I don't run into it. And then come on over onto the knees. We're coming into Balasana, child's pose. So take the knees out wide, come on down. So I don't really want to use props for this. However, having said that, have a block nearby. That is that might be a prop I can foresee you needing. Again, it's different for all of us. So come on down. If the forehead doesn't make it to the ground, that's what your block is for. Really want you to stretch those arms out in front of you. And then while you're there, I wanted to share with you, so non-coincidentally, of course, I've been thinking about the lavender flower, and then I remembered that Melody sent me a poem. So I opened it up. It's all about flowers, and I took an excerpt that I wanted to share with you. The poem is called Secret Life by Lee Young Lee. And the part that I took that I wanted to share with you says, copying their pictures, so you can envision this boy, he's drawing the flowers, copying their pictures, replete with diagrams, he finds in the words for their parts, the accounts of their histories and their scattered pollen, something to do with his own fate and the perfection of all dying things. That part in particular, for me, drew, again, how everything is connected. Like he saw his life, his fate, he saw life and death in the flowers. Yeah, I mean, everything is so intertwined, isn't it? Fascinating. I like that part about something to do with his own fate. We've talked multiple times about how the subject of death is not the most enjoyable for everybody. Makes some people nervous, but it's inevitable. It's part of the perfection of life, right? That the poem references. All right, where do I want to go from here? So I want to take both arms to the right. Now, I don't mean necessarily walking them to the right like twisted child's pose. That's a good start. Once you kind of get them off to your side, I want you to take the bottom arm, the left one. Let's thread it first underneath that right arm because I really need to get the left shoulder down. And this is where your props might come in handy. If you cannot get the shoulder and the head down to the ground, I need you to grab something. If the shoulder's down and the head's not, it might just be your block. If the shoulder's not down either, probably your blanket would be the best to get underneath both the head and shoulder. Once I manage to get them both onto something, so we're not hanging in midair, the right hand is going to interlace with that left hand, and I'm going to stretch out both arms, which means that you're going to feel that right shoulder pull back. There's a little twist here. Breathe. And what you can also do, I need to see if my hands are even still in this picture. What you could do, I'm going to slide way, way back here. You could take that right hand and use the heel of the palm as though you were massaging the left one. Just push and slide all the way down the palm into the fingertips. And then go back and do the thumb, each finger separately, just kind of waking up the cells in the hand. You could even visualize that you're spreading that beautiful white or purple healing energy down into each finger. Make sure you take a moment to get through all fingers. I don't want to leave one of them hanging, but when you're ready, the left arm is staying where it is. The right arm is going to come around behind your back, and then we're just going to work on opening up that shoulder. You might even use the right knee to push into the ground to help make that shift a little bit. Big inhale. Exhale. Oh, release everything back down into child's pose, balasana. You stay there while I just turn around for a moment. All right. Walk the hands over towards the left. I'm going to stop at about 45 degrees so I have room to take that right arm, thread it underneath, bring the right shoulder down, release the head, grab whatever props you need to do that. Left hand is going to interlace with the right hand, and then I'm going to try to straighten out this left arm. So if that's too intense, you don't have to straighten it all the way, right? And then when you're ready, use the left hand to massage out the right. Lavender is also good for its anti-inflammatory purposes, so you can use it on like insect bites as well. And there are a lot of different types of lavender too, so if you get an oil and you don't like it, you should try a different type of lavender plant. There are a couple to me that I can't stand the smell of, and then there's others that I'm happy to have around. Okay, when you're ready, leave the right arm. Left arm's coming around behind you. Push that left knee into the mat a little bit. See if you can open up the top shoulder on the heart. When you're ready, deep breath in. When you get to that exhale, release. Stretch back out into balasana. And then go ahead and walk the hands in towards you. We're going to set up for rabbit, so we just need to get the knees in together. Remember top of the head to the ground, not the forehead, top of the head. So as we come down, we really want to get that head tucked in. You're going to lift the hips. Let's just start there. Hips above the knees, right? Flat part of the head on the earth. Interlace the fingers behind you into Yoga Mudra. Stretch the arms up. Your option to doing that is to grab onto the heels or place your hands on the earth just in front of your knees. While you're in rabbit, it might feel like there's a lot of weight pushing down on your head. I want you to imagine there's a lightness there, that in fact, the weight of the head on your mat isn't actually there. Maybe there's like a fine shimmer of air between you and the mat, or maybe that white light. That's even better. Imagine that white or purple light is between your crown chakra and the mat, kind of elevating you. Deepen your breath here. Give me 3 deep breaths. And then slowly start to pull the hips down, release the arms. I'm just going to let my arms drop into embryo. And then plant the palms on the earth to slowly, really slowly push your way up. You know, we were upside down for a while, so if you feel like blood is rushing from your head, just pause right here. Just take it slow. We're in no hurry. Perfect. All right, grab your blanket and your bolster. The blanket is going to go across the middle of my mat. Don't worry too much about how it's folded. I mean, mine's a really pretty fold here, right? It's just a little something. That bolster is down by your feet. We're coming down on our stomach, so I want the ankles up on top of the bolster. The blanket is for the hips. Fabulous. And then just make a pillow for your head with your arms. Now I want you to get comfortable here because we're staying here for Shavasana. We're going to work our way into it. But if at any point you don't like this as your Shavasana position, you can totally flip over and make any changes you want to. Totally up to you. All right, close your eyes. I want you to imagine that you are lying in a field of lavender. This beautiful purple color completely surrounds you. In fact, allow it to be as far as your eyes can see. This field just extends in every direction for as far as your eyes can see. There's just a space for you to lay in the middle. You're not crushing any plants. It's just a happy space that was set aside for you. And as you inhale, you can smell this beautiful scent of healing lavender. It's exactly how you would want it to smell. It makes you happy. It makes you feel very calm and tranquil and peaceful. You recognize the purple as a healing master energy, and you invite it in. You invite it in. So that could mean you actually are inhaling that purple color again and filling your body or surrounding the body with that purple light. It just could simply mean that you're setting the intention that those lavender flowers are emitting an energy that maybe you just are open to receiving. So use your imagination, right? You don't have to do it the way I'm depicting it. I want you to find the way that's best for you to imagine this. Allow there to be the faintest of breezes, swirling that beautiful scent around you. You can feel the sun on your back. It's the tendrils of the sun are kind of like little fingers just massaging warmth into the muscles, everything dissolving. Tension is already melted away and into the earth. You can feel the ground beneath you, very rooted. If you like, you can add in butterflies, happily moving from lavender stalk to lavender stalk. If you're weirded out by butterflies, don't include them, right? So what else is in this picture that you're seeing? We're going to stay right in this lavender field for Shavasana. As I said, if you're not comfortable, this would be the time to go ahead and turn over. And just allow yourself to be open to receiving whatever you need from your Shavasana practice today. We've talked about this before, that Shavasana, corpse pose, is not the easiest for people who have trouble staying quiet. And so if that is you, let's make that your goal today, your intention. Doesn't mean if it doesn't work, you fail. It's just an intention of, I'm going to try to be in this quiet space. I'm just going to stay in the lavender field. And you bring in whatever elements you need to. I'll tell you when it's time to come back. Let's begin to bring our attention back to our breath. And slowly straighten out one leg without locking the knee. And then the other. Bring some movement into the fingers. And you might want to lift the head, turn the head in the other direction just for a moment. Stretch out the neck. If you're on your back, go ahead and hug your knees into the heart. If you're on your stomach still like I am, let's plant the hands. Keep the head heavy as you start to push your way up. I'm going to just walk slowly off of my bolster and come down into child's pose for a moment. And then whenever you're ready, slowly make your way back up. Just take a second here just to work out the neck a little bit. Side to side, you might go all the way around. And then bringing the head back to center. Deep inhale. Loud exhale. Inhale, both arms up. Bring the palms together and exhale them back home to your heart in prayer pose. The light in me bows to the light in you. And when I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.